Now let me get to the United Snakes of America. You, Americans, sitting there on your farmstead, farmhouse porch in Wyoming, looking over the land, watching your cattle, watching your horses. You didn't have a word to say when your government basically wiped Libya off the map, bombed Libya off the map, bombed Iraq off the map, bombed Syria, bombed Yemen, bombed Afghanistan, bombed Yugoslavia. You had nothing to say. You were cheering on your soldiers. But you never, for one moment, imagined what it must be like for a woman, a mother, digging through the rubble to try and find her children under that rubble. For a husband digging into that rubble with his bare hands, trying to find his wife and his family. For a small child standing on that rubble, desperately trying to get to his parents that is buried under that rubble. You did not fucking pay attention. You just cheered your soldiers on. The vengeance of the universe is coming for you too. How it's going to hit you, I don't know. If I look at the signs, I can see the first thing that's going to happen, they're going to take all your money away. Because your country, your leadership has put you in debt that 10 generations cannot pay back. That's what they did. And you empowered them to do it. You could have stopped them if you wanted to, but you did not. And now, you will have to fight for your life. There's already of your cities where you guys, the whites, are minorities because of how much? I think they said 200 million immigrants that streamed over your southern border already. 200 million. I don't know, millions. I don't know what the number, I can't remember the number. But millions of them. No, it's not 200 million. Must be in the millions. But because I saw a document that circulated at the UN in which XXX clearly stated that they want 100 million immigrants in your country, then they will take your country over. That's you Americans. You guys that can pose on the televisions and so as the strong ones, the unbeatable army. You're fucked. They're going to take your homeland away from you while you're waving the star-spangled banners in other countries. They're going to take your homeland. You're going to find yourself in another country with fucking nowhere to go. And then they're going to come for you there. And there's not going to be help coming from the homeland because there won't be a fucking homeland. You may think I'm talking through my neck. You better go and check what is the plans, the evil plans that is now being executed to get you executed. And I'm afraid those plans are so far along that you guys can't get out of it. You cannot negotiate yourself out of that shit. You will have to fight yourself out of that shit. Now that's the difference between you and the Europeans and you and the British. Most of you Americans, and I'm talking about the conservative, right-minded people, most of you are capable fighters. And most of you can fight. And most of you are willing to fight. You are very much like us, the Boere. So you have a chance, but you better take that fucking chance while you still have the numbers. The British and the Europeans is fucked. If they want to fight back, they are going to have to depend on people in their middle ages. Because those are people that could still fight. But you guys in America, you need to open your eyes and wake up and understand. They are going to fucking slaughter you in your homes. That is their plans. Whether they're going to succeed, this will be on your hands. I have a strong suspicion that they're going to get a lot of resistance and they're going to most probably lose against the conservatives. But those liberals in the cities, they are fucked. But it's going to be good riddance. That's what I say. So, let me end this and just tell you what you guys have been doing around the globe. Killing, destroying, butchering and stealing. You allowed your governments to do it. The universe is coming back for revenge, because the universal law is clear. It never allows anything to stay out of balance for too long, and then the pendulum swings back. And if you are an objective thinker, a realist, and you look at facts, you don't look at bullshit, you have to come to the conclusion that payback is coming your way, and you will have to decide how are you going to handle that payback. And I'm not saying for 1 minute that all of you needs to be wiped out. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying to you that you, ordinary citizens of Europe, Britain, Canada, and USA, you allowed your governments to commit atrocities in your name. You allowed them, and now you will pay on behalf of them. They are not going to pay because they are too clever. They will deflect the shit onto you. So you not only have to fight the real enemy that comes for you, you will have to fight the snakes and the cockroaches in your midst as well. So you've got 2 enemies. The world enemy that is coming for revenge, and the cockroach enemy that is in your midst. That is, some of them are your family. You have to do that. And that is going to be hell. Ask me, as a boer. We have got the same problem here. These Afrikaners are evil, and they are in among us. But we are willing to fight, and we are capable. I know in America there's a lot of capable men. Europe got a major problem. I have a funny feeling. If I look at the people that are most vocal about the shit that is heading their way in Europe are women. And it doesn't surprise me, because I know, and I've always believed, that women are actually mentally stronger than men. Men relies a lot on muscle. Women knows that they can't rely on muscle. So they rely on inner strength. And I listen to Eva and I can hear she's not going to be a pushover. And I can just imagine the attacks and resentment and brutality that is directed at her through Satan's cockroaches. I can imagine it. And she has my empathy, because the cockroaches are determined to eat us. That's for sure. But I've said my say. You can listen to this, think about it. You can switch away from the channel. You can be more of a angry. I mean, hell of a angry. But that's not my problem. It's your problem. It is you that don't want to look reality in the eyes. For almost 80 years, you Europeans, Canadians, British and Americans allowed your governments to go around the world and kill people, destroy infrastructure, blow buildings to pieces that are 200 and 500 and 1,000 and 2,000, 3,000 years old. You destroyed it, your governments. You allowed them. But I said this morning to a friend of mine, the biggest problem for the Americans is that they have never been placed in a position where missiles hit one of their big cities and blow 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks away. And they have to dig with their bare hands to find their loved ones under the rubble. You've never experienced it. You're sitting there, 80% of you are so obese you can't move properly, munching on your burgers and chips, watching your televisions, playing your TV games, while your government use your soldiers to butcher people on the other side of the globe from you. Doesn't touch you. You don't have to flee for your life. You've never had the need to flee for your life. But now, the XXX cockroaches is amongst you. They're gonna fucking eat you alive. They're gonna take your burger out of your hand before they slit your throat. You have got a big problem. But who am I? A boer here from South Africa, what the fuck do I know? I know nothing. But I'm telling you, I'm staring into the fire and I see the coals. But most important, I see the ashes. You got away with what you were doing to other people for too long. Your governments did the things in your name. Think about that. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.
First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. All right, and you've seen the video clip that I just played. All right, and pretty much it was a longer clip. All right, but it shows you the mindset that the people of the world have towards America, towards Babylon the Great. Okay, and as always, all right, we deal with prophecy. Okay, that's what's most important, is prophecy. All right, and we know that according to the prophecies, that all the nations are going to rise up against Babylon the Great. All right, and pretty much make war with the whore. All right. All right, so as it speaks of in I think Revelation 17th chapter, all right, the whore that sits on many waters, okay, the mystery Babylon. All right, all the nations are going to rise up and make war with Babylon the Great. All right, so we see that mindset being embedded into the minds of these different nations around the world to hate America, to hate Americans. All right, and once again, this is all a part of the prophecy. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this. All right, and this is Isaiah, the 13th chapter that I got pulled up, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, "The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see." Okay, and this is not talking about ancient Babylon. All right, this is talking about spiritual Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great, okay, which is America. It says, "Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain." All right, and that word mountain is a code word in the Bible for government. Okay, America pretty much sits at the top seat of the world government today. Okay, it's known as the Lady of Kingdoms. All right, the glory of the Chaldees' excellency. All right, and the Chaldees, they were a group of high-level witches and warlocks back during the time of ancient Babylon. Okay, so today, the elites that rule over Babylon the Great and the whole beast system, all right, America is pretty much their golden child. All right, so this place, America, is that high mountain. All right, it says, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, and exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. Okay, and the Lord is raising up the nations to go against Babylon the Great in World War III. All right, but right here, all right, in these next two verses, all right, and I just want to qualify it. You can link it with Joel the 2nd chapter. Okay, Joel the 2nd chapter, it likens the nuclear fire to like an army that is going to rush through, all right, and completely flood out Babylon the Great. All right, so as a matter of fact, let's just go there. I'm gonna read a little bit of that, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so Joel chapter 2, all right, and Joel chapter 2 and verse 1, it says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain." All right, Zion, the children of Israel. "And let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness." Okay, why? Because the smoke is going to black out the skies. "As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, There hath not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Now look, this is going to go into that quote unquote army, okay, that the Lord is calling. All right, verse 3, it says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Okay, it says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and in horsemen so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Okay, so it keeps comparing them to a flame of fire, all right, because that's it's using imagery. It's as if like it's a like that wave of fire that's gonna cover Babylon the Great. Okay, and there's many it's constantly depicted in the videos that the brothers always put up, like that. I'm not gonna call them music videos, but pretty much the Bible lessons with the visuals and the music behind it. All right, if you want to know an example of what I'm talking about, you can go on my to my channel and go to the playlist, and I have a full playlist of these videos called The Beautiful Gospel. Okay, but so here is imagery being spoken of. All right, same thing. Okay, look at this. Continuing on though, Joel 2:4, it says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. Like the noise of the chariots on the tops of the mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Okay. Now look, it says, behold, their face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. Because that fire, when it comes through, it's going to cover and devour everything. And as it says, all right, before it, it's like the Garden of Eden. You're going to have trees and, all right, pretty much everything is regular. All right, but then after it, when it comes through, that fire comes through, it's going to be completely desolate. Okay, it says, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall match everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. So that's how you know this is not talking about our actual, an actual army. Okay, it's like I said, it's likening that wall of fire and pretty much as an invading army that's going to come and completely devour Babylon the Great. All right, it says, they shall run to and fro, they shall run upon the wall, they shall climb up upon the houses, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief. That's how that fire is going to come through. The earth shall quake before them. Okay, why? Because what's gonna proceed before that fire? All right, the missile striking and the great shaking. All right, the earth reeling to and fro. Okay, the earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Because as I said before, it's going to be that black smoke. All right, it's going to be covering all the sky. All you're going to be able to see is fire. It says, and the Lord shall utter his voice from before his army, for his camp is very great. For he is strong that executeth his word, for the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? Okay, so, all right, as I said, let's go back to that Isaiah 13. All right, this is, let me see. Let's go back to Isaiah 13. This is not talking about an actual army, all right, but it's talking about that fire that the Lord is bringing, which he likens unto an army, because it's gonna be like a wall of fire, like you had a wall of men that go through and raid. Okay, now going back, all right, Isaiah 13th chapter and verse 4. It says, shall read 3. It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones, I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. All right, and a host is another word for an army. All right, now look at this. It's how you know, once again, it's going to that nuclear fire. It says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. Okay, the weapons of his indignation is righteous anger. All right, they come from a far country. They come from Russia. They come from China. They come from North Korea. Okay, right, and other Middle Eastern countries that now have been given nuclear capabilities. All right, through Russia. Okay, this is where these missiles are going to be shot off from. All right, from the eastern side of the world, the other end of heaven. Okay, continuing on, it says, "Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth, as a woman that's giving birth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames," right? Because this army that's going to come through and completely devour everything, all right, it's an army, it's a wall of fire. All right, the Lord is going to send the nuclear missiles over here, and as we read earlier in that Joel the second chapter, they're not going to miss their rank, meaning that when those missiles fly, all right, they're going to hit their intended target, which is Babylon the Great, and they're going to make it utterly desolate. Okay, and it's all the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, and let's see the reason why He's doing it. It says, Isaiah 13:9, "Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and He shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine." Okay, so this is what the Lord has purposed. All right, once again, why is everything going to be darkened out? Okay, because that smoke, all right, that thick black pitch, all right, that's a good word for it. That word pitch is going to be covering everything. All right, it's going to be covering the skies. Like if you look at also, have you ever been to a house that's been burned? Okay, you have all that black dust, and that's pitch. All right, it's everywhere. Okay, and it covers everything. Continuing on, Isaiah 13:11. This is the reason why He's going to do it. "And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible." All right, so as we saw in that video, okay, the guy, he was speaking about how Americans pretty much, they just live in luxury. All right, just doing whatever the hell they want to do. All right, just not paying any attention to what their government has done all over the world. And quite honestly, the vast majority of Americans probably could care less, because as long as they're able to live their comfortable and plush lifestyles, all right, who gives a damn if a bunch of Africans, quote unquote Africans, are forced into slavery so that they can mine cobalt or blood diamonds. They've been a movie about that. All right, that blood diamond movie. Okay, the people were enslaved, over there in, I think the movie was in Sierra Leone. All right, people were enslaved so that they could, get those diamonds, extract the natural resources from that country, all right, which was the diamonds, and then they could bring them over here to America and sell them for a hefty penny. All right, so a lot of people got rich off of that, but a lot of blood was shed, and a lot of oppression occurred, okay, because of that. And that's what America, all right, has perpetuated throughout the four corners of the earth, all right, under Esau Edom. He's the one that's in control. All right, Jake's not in control of none of these things. As a matter of fact, let's go here to the book of Revelation, 18th chapter, and it goes into one of the sins, all right, of Babylon, which is selling the souls of men. Okay, let's get that right quick. All right, this is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 11. Okay, and this is taking place after the destruction of Babylon the Great by nuclear fire. It says, "And the merchants," actually start at verse 10. It says, "standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come." Okay, that's when they're going to be, that trumpet going to blow. The missile's going to get ready to hit. All you're going to hear is boom, 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 boom. All right, the earth's going to reel to and fro like a drunkard, man. It's going to shake everything up. All right. Okay, and in 1 hour is the Lord going to destroy the whole of Babylon the Great. Completely, there's going to be dust, smoke, pitch, and desolation. All right. It says, And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Now let's see what it says. All right. It says, the merchandise of gold and silver, and precious stones, and of pearls, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and thyine wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat. All right, so these are all things of luxury, okay? Because these things are not in abundance in so-called third world countries. All right, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. Okay, so that's what the merchandise here is. Okay, the merchandise here is all these things, all these luxury items. Okay, because once again, Babylon, one of its titles is the glory of kingdoms. Okay, the lady of kingdoms, Salakia. All right, so he has all these, purple linen and scarlet and all these silk. All right, these represent luxury. Right, but also on the flip side of that, the dark side. Okay, Babylon the Great, how did it get its wealth? Okay, through slaves and the souls of men. Okay, Babylon the Great has destroyed many nations, many people. All right, as it tells you in Habakkuk the 2nd chapter. Okay, which is the matter of fact, let's go ahead and get it since I brought it out. Since I mentioned it, let's go ahead and bring it out. All right, which is the reason why, once again, you see the hostility. All right, that we just saw in that video clip. Okay, so this is Habakkuk chapter 2. In verse 10, actually I'll start at verse 9. It says, woe to him that coveteth, Salakia. You know what? Let's start at verse 7. Man, this whole chapter. Habakkuk 2 and 6. It says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine. Okay, and wine is another, that's like a code word for philosophies, ideologies. All right, transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. He's always in other countries, okay, extracting the natural resources from these countries and causing poverty and civil unrest in these different nations. All right, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Okay, so he's known for his extreme greed. All right, and in every Edomite nation, what does he have there? He has slaves and the souls of men. Okay, because all the nations come here, all right, just to pretty much be the servants of the upper class. All right, the servants of the rich. All right, which are all pretty much for the majority are Edomites. All right, so continuing on, Habakkuk 2 and 8, it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. All right, and thick clay going into debt. Okay, America is also full of debt. All right, Esau, and that guy said that. He said in the video clip that that your government has put you in a debt that you're not able to pay. All right, it says, look at this. Habakkuk 2 and 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee? And thou shalt be for booties unto them. Okay, what is a booty? That's like a spoil. Okay, and it says it in the next verse, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Right. So all the nations, okay, are being raised up against Babylon the Great. Verse 9, it says, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house. All right, he desires something that don't belong to him. All right, that's why they're going to take up that taunting proverb against him. Okay, as we read, earlier on at verse 6, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. All right, that's what they do. They go and once again they go to these other lands. All right, and they set up coup d'états. Okay, civil unrest, and they extract the natural resources, causing perpetual poverty in these so-called third world countries. All right. America, Babylon the Great, is the main reason why a lot of these countries are third world countries in the first place. Okay, but it says, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. It says, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. Okay? So that's exactly what, is going on. And that's what we're seeing in that video clip. All right, that's that hostility from Babylon the Great and what they've done. Okay, and this is the reason why the Lord is bringing these judgments here. Okay, namely the lake of fire. All right, it's going to be Babylon the Great when the other nations shoot those missiles upon this place. All right, Isaiah 13 and verse 11, it says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Okay, and America, all right, is known as, specifically Esau Edom, he's known as the most proud. All right, he's known as the most proud. That's why they started off in that Habakkuk 2nd chapter. I started off with that verse saying, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Okay, now look at this. Continuing on, Isaiah 13 and 12, it says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Okay, and why? How is that going to be? Because in that day, all right, when the other nations make their move on Babylon the Great, World War III kicks off. All right, and they're going to attack America from multiple fronts. Okay, they have all kind of different things cooking up against Babylon the Great. All right, we always go into it: race wars, class wars, civil wars, economic woes. All right, this is going to be the grand finale of this movie that we call life. Okay, so it's really the Lord that's doing this. All right, the Lord has all kind of evils prepared for Babylon the Great. All right, as a matter of fact, let's get a scripture on that right quick. All right, 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter and verse 50. All right, and it reads, it says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Definition for miseries: a state or feeling of great distress or discomfort of mind or body, unhappiness or affliction. All right, that's from the Oxford American Writers Thesaurus. Okay, so many great miseries is going to happen. Why? Because the people have walked in great pride. So he's going to lay all that down. Ain't going to be no more proud and arrogant people. Ain't going to be no more haughty people on the face of the earth. Okay, all that. Matter of fact, let's get another scripture. All that exalt themselves, all right, they're going to be, they're going to be brought down low. They're going to be abased. This is from the Lord Yahushua himself. All right, St. Matthew chapter 23 and verse 12. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself, all right, and that's going to be the elect, himself shall be exalted. Okay, so the Lord is going to make the elect man more precious than fine gold. All right, Isaiah 13 and 13, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as a chased roe. All right, it's a deer, a chased deer, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. And every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. All right, so he said that these troops, they're going to come in, they're going to grab the cheeseburger out of your hand before they, slice you up. All right, so this is what he's talking about right here. This is in the prophecies. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Okay, this ain't nothing. This ain't no joke. All right, you think this is a game? That's why right now, okay, this is the time that you ought to be fearing the Lord, because you want to be hid from this time, man. All right, this ain't gonna be nothing nice. Zephaniah 1 and 17. Let's get that. Okay, quick precept. It says, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. All right, verse 18. Neither shall their silver nor their gold be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. So it ain't gonna matter how much money you got. They don't give a shit. If anything, you living in luxury is just gonna piss these people off even more, because these people are coming from war-torn countries. And the reason why the countries are like that is because, Uncle Sam, all over the world, not keeping himself at home, is out there pillaging, raping, smurdering, all right, doing all these great evils, okay, in the name of democracy, all right, all around the world, man. So when that wrath comes, it ain't gonna be nothing to play with. All right, your gold and silver is not gonna be delivered you. All right, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So it's gonna be mass death and destruction, man. All right, it's none to play around with. Okay, it says, let's continue on. Isaiah 13 and verse. Let me get that again. Verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined to them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Okay, and back then, all right, in ancient Babylon, you had the Persians and the Medes that took down King Nebuchadnezzar and the ancient Babylonians. Okay, so it's the same thing, and this is in spiritual context here, and we know it's a spiritual context because it's talking about this place being destroyed by fire. All right, that obviously hasn't happened yet. Okay, so this is talking about future prophecy. All right, this is the daughter of Babylon, the mystery Babylon that's spoken of in the book of Revelation. So just like you had the Persians and the Medes take down the ancient Babylon, okay, the Persians and the Medes today in spiritual Babylon is going to be the Eastern nations that are rising up against this beast system. All right, Russia, China, North Korea. Okay, so it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. We just read about that in Zephaniah, okay, 1:18. It says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Because you saw in the video the guy, he said, see, Americans have never had to dig up their family out of the rubble, all right, from their city getting bombed or, whatever, okay? Americans have never had to deal with that. But they've caused that to happen to many different people all around the world. All right. It says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Right. So he's going to rain fire and brimstone down upon this place. It's how you know it's not talking about in a latter time. It's talking about today. Okay. This is future prophecy. It says, and it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Okay, if you go to ancient Babylon today, all right, which I believe is in modern day Iraq, all right, in ancient Babylon, there's people out there, there's cities. So it's not talking about ancient Babylon, it's talking about the daughter of Babylon here. It says, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So this is going to happen, and it's going to happen very soon, okay? Lord's will, actually, okay? Because, let's see, Psalms chapter 58 and verse 10, all right? Just like it tells you in Revelation 18th chapter, okay? Psalms 58 and 10, it says, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, okay? Those, those that are here in captivity, all right, in Babylon the Great, all right, are going to rejoice when they see the downfall of their enemy, all right? This is Jeremiah 50. Let me see, I'm going to get a couple more verses and get ready to close out. All right, Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse, let's see, Slakia, bear with me. This goes into it as well, all right. But it tells you, Slakia. Come on, man. It tells you in Jeremiah 50th chapter that pretty much that the children of Israel, all right, that they would let me not butcher it, but pretty much that they would want they root for the violence that was done unto them to be done unto the inhabitants of Babylon. Let me see. I'll find it right quick. The violence done to my flesh. All right, I know it's in here. Okay, Salakia. I'm just going to type it in like this. All right. Jeremiah. Oh, you know what? It's Jeremiah 51. Salakia, that was my bad. Jeremiah 51 and 35. All right. It says, the violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon, shall the inhabitant of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea shall Jerusalem say. And this is why they say that what we're preaching is evil, because, but it's in the prophecies that the children of Israel, that they would rejoice in the downfall of their enemy. Okay, rejoice in the downfall of Babylon the Great. All right, so we're actually looking forward to this, but we're looking forward to we're hoping that we are delivered from this. Okay, get the book of Sirach. All right, let me see where it's at. Boom, Sirach 25 and verse I'm gonna start at verse 7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Okay, and our enemy is Esau, Edom. All right, the so-called white man. Okay, and the rest of the Egyptians. All right, the spiritual Egyptians, all these Edomites. All right, and the Lord is getting ready to bring a sore judgment upon them. All right, and we just hope that we are delivered from that. Zephaniah chapter 2, and we'll close out with this. All right, Zephaniah 2 and 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. All right, and wrought means to live through, to seek out. All right. It says, seek righteousness and seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. Okay. And I'm going to close out with that. Lord's will is edifying. As always, all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. All right, and double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. All right, until next time, shalom and abide with all.